Brazil isn't giving up. They're chasing Ancelotti again. Will Papa Carlo really become the new Seleção boss? Fresh drama around Salah's contract. Is he staying at Anfield, or is a shocking twist coming? Real Madrid say a sudden goodbye to Arda Güler. The young talent is now up for transfer. And Liverpool? They're going all in with a stunning £120 million bid for Alexander Isak. All that and more in today's episode. Friends, let's aim for 400 likes again. Your support keeps the wheels turning and the rumours flying. Let's dive into the latest transfer rumours. Liverpool are ready to blow up the transfer window. And no, this isn't just another rumour. There's genuine belief inside the club that they can actually land Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Not just sign him, we're talking record-breaking deal here. Over £120 million, that's right, north of 120. And you know what that sounds like? A message to Darwin Núñez. Appreciate your hustle, mate. But we need a striker who scores week in, week out, not just in random hot streaks. Isak this season? Unreal. 23 goals, 5 assists, in the form of his life. Tall, smooth on the ball, with dribbling that wouldn't look out of place on a winger. Honestly, he might be the most stylish striker in the Premier League right now, and if Arne Slot really is cooking up Liverpool 2.0, Isak feels like the ideal forward to lead the line. But here's the catch. Will Newcastle actually let him go? Yasser Al-Rumayyan, their chairman, literally called him the best striker in the world. Really, the best. Has he ever seen Mbappé play? Still, when someone throws £120 million on the table, even the most ambitious project starts to blink. Let's be real. Football these days is less about loyalty and more about business. If I were Isak, I'd already be texting Van Dijk like, "Yo, where's the best steakhouse in Liverpool?" Although, hold on, Arsenal are sniffing around too. Could this turn into a full-blown transfer war? Let's just hope it doesn't descend into chaos. But look, if Liverpool are serious about rebuilding under Slot, this is their moment. They have to go all in. They need a game changer. And if FSG are really ready to drop that kind of cash, then yeah, I'll be the first to say that's a serious statement of intent. So what do you think? Should Liverpool break the bank for Isak, or is it all just noise? Aston Villa want Arda Güler. Yes, that Arda Güler, the same kid who said no thanks to Barcelona and chose Real Madrid in 2023. So, how's that decision working out, Arda? 1,500 minutes in a year and a half? Come on, that's not a career, that's a hostage situation. Seriously, what's going on at the Bernabeu? Did Ancelotti forget they dropped €30 million on this guy? They fought off Barca, hyped up the signing, and now he's just polishing the bench? Enter Monchi. Aston Villa's sporting director has officially said he wouldn't mind bringing Arda to Birmingham. And honestly, it might be the best thing for everyone. Villa get a creative spark, Arda gets game time, and Madrid get a version of Güler who's actually match fit, not just a training ground highlight reel. And here's the thing. Rumours say Villa are looking at a loan move. Low risk, high reward. And if it happens, you better believe Arda will give everything, just to remind Madrid what they're sleeping on. But here's the real question. Will he agree to leave? Not long ago, he was pledging eternal loyalty to Real Madrid. But sometimes, loyalty needs a little reality check. Personally, I say, it's time for Arda to show some teeth. Step out. Take the challenge. Not just sit around waiting for Ancelotti to notice. Carlo Ancelotti is back on Brazil's radar, and this time it's real. Dorival Jr. is officially out. The Brazilian Football Federation didn't wait around. They've parted ways with the coach after a string of disappointing performances, and guess who's at the top of their list? That's right, Papa Carlo. Fabrizio Romano reports that Brazil still dreams of seeing Ancelotti in charge of the Seleção, and not as a backup plan. He's their main target. July is the month. The federation wants him, the fans want him, and the players. Let's just say there wouldn't be too many objections in that dressing room. What a twist, huh? The Brazil bench is officially vacant and all eyes are on Madrid. If Real Madrid lets him go, Ancelotti won't be sipping wine in an Italian vineyard. He could be leading Brazil into the next World Cup. And here's the wild part. We've been here before. The federation president literally said Ancelotti would be the coach. Even Ronaldo, yes, that Ronaldo, tried to convince him. But back then, Madrid said no. And can you blame them? The man was busy winning the Champions League. Now things are different. Dorival's gone. The door is open. The only thing standing in the way? Xabi Alonso. If he joins Real this summer, Ancelotti is free to go. But if Alonso stays at Bayern, and considering the season he's having, that's very possible, things get complicated again. So here's the question. Do you want to see Ancelotti in charge of Brazil? I know I do. Just imagine it, a Brazilian carnival orchestrated by a calm, classy Italian from Reggio Emilia. That's football poetry, samba with a side of strategy. Will it happen? Honestly, it's 50-50. But if you suddenly see Carlo in a green and yellow jacket this July, just remember, this could be the football story of the year. No doubt about it. João Felix is packing his bags again. Yep, another club, another loan. Brother, how's that career arc going? Honestly, at this point, the man could write a bestseller. How to get lost in European football in just 5 years. Now the Turkish media's going crazy. Galatasaray want him. And guess who's already working the phones? The great and powerful Jorge Mendes. Apparently, talks with Chelsea are on. Because let's be real, if it's not clicking in London and he barely even unpacked in Milan, maybe it's time for Istanbul. Maybe someone out there will finally love this guy. Let's break it down. 20 games for Chelsea, 4 for Milan. Goals? 11 in 40 matches wearing blue. That's what Chelsea paid £42 million for. Like, is anyone counting money over there? And now we're on to plan B? Or is it plan W at this point? Turkey. Look, Galatasaray is no joke. Top club, big following, Champions League ambitions. But João Felix dropping into the Super League? Feels like a step down, no? He's not just a pretty name with a shiny agent, right? Or is he? To me, it doesn't feel like a transfer anymore. It feels like a tour. Another city, another club, another reboot. But hey, maybe this is the one. Icardi might leave. If that front line opens up, Felix could finally get a real shot at being the guy. And if Gala make the Champions League, boom, he's back in the spotlight, like a runway model under the lights. But I gotta ask, João, what do you actually want? To fight for your spot at Chelsea? To find a real football home? Or just keep floating around until your career fades out? Look, a move to Turkey isn't a career death sentence. Not for him, it's a chance. At least on loan he'll play, he'll be seen, and then, who knows? Guess who's back on Arsenal's radar? Yep, Randal Kolo Muani, the same guy who was offered to the Gunners in January. And what did Arteta say? No thanks, we're good. Mind you, that was during the striker injury apocalypse. Havertz out, Jesus out. And Arsenal still said nah to an experienced forward? Genius stuff, really. And now, heading into summer, surprise, surprise, they're looking at him again. Only this time, they're watching him from Turin. Because while Muani didn't exactly light it up at PSG in Italy, he's cooking. 5 goals, 2 assists in just 11 games for Juve. Next thing you know, boom, back in the French national team. Coincidence? I don't think so. Now, let's be real. Is he a superstar? No. But as a plan B, solid. Quick, strong, versatile, plays wide or through the middle. And most importantly, he doesn't look like that overwhelmed League One kid anymore. Now he's got bite, confidence, and that matters in the Premier League. But here's the real kicker. Are Arsenal ready to drop £77 million on him? For a guy they already turned down once, kinda steep for a second chance, don't you think? Especially when players like Isak and Šeško are on the horizon. Although with Arsenal's transfer record lately, wouldn't shock me if they gave Nketiah a new deal until 2030 instead. And let's not forget, Tottenham are lurking too. This could turn into a full-blown London derby, just in the transfer market. Bottom line, this summer is gonna be hot, and Muani might be one of the names heating it up. But if you ask me, Arsenal will probably drag it out till deadline day and then sign a striker from the Saudi Pro League instead. Classic. So, what do you think? Is Muani a smart move or just another shiny distraction? Frenkie de Jong is back in the middle of the transfer storm. His contract's running down and Barca are at it again, playing their favourite game. We love him, but we could totally sell him too. Classic Barca move, right? And who's circling? Manchester United, Chelsea, Bayern, PSG, they're all lurking. But it's the English clubs who are really pushing. Word is, one Premier League giant has made Frenkie their #1 target for the summer. So much for I want to stay at Barca, huh? Meanwhile, the club's like, you want to stay? Cool. Just so you know, We might sell you for 35 million euros. Wait, what? 35 million euros? That's rotation player money. Have they lost the plot? Frankie, my man, in my opinion, you should stay. Under Flick, you've been a different beast. Came back from injury and just took over the midfield like nothing ever happened. Sporting director Deco's already working on a new deal, 80 million euros release clause, freedom to choose, stay or go. And honestly, that's fair. But there's always a catch. Salary. Yep, that old issue again. Barca wants to slash the fixed wages and replace them with bonuses. Play great, get paid. Don't, tough luck. And oh, they also want to quietly forget about the money they owe him from the COVID days. Like, really? The guy helped them out of loyalty and now they're acting like it's not their problem. And hey, guess what? Liverpool just joined the race. They need a brain in midfield and Frankie would be perfect for them. But once again, the salary. His current wages are like an anchor. And the Reds? They're just monitoring things for now. So here's the million-euro question. Will he join one of these European giants? Or will he extend until 2029 and become the face of Flick's new-look Barca? Personally, I think he stays. But if Barca decides to balance the books again, all bets are off. Stick around. The next story will catch you completely off guard. Martin Zubimendi is right back in the middle of a transfer storm. And guess what? Arsenal might end up with nothing. Again. Yep, here we go. Same old story. The Gunners have been watching him for months, planning to activate that £50 million release clause in the summer, thinking, boom, done deal. But now, surprise, Real Madrid enters the chat. And no, this isn't just some random rumor from a dodgy source. First it was AS, then Kopi, and now even the Standard is on it. Madrid reportedly sees Zubimendi as Toni Kroos's successor. And honestly, if Real Madrid gets serious, we could be looking at a full-blown transfer bloodbath. Let's be real. How many times have we seen this? Arsenal scouts early, makes a plan, prepares an offer, and then boom, some football giant shows up, waves a bigger paycheck, and the player goes, "Sorry lads, but I've dreamed of Madrid since I was 5, had the bed sheets and everything." And Zubimendi's no average midfielder. This guy's basically Gen Z's Busquets. 90% pass accuracy, top of the charts for interceptions at Real Sociedad, and tactically, he'd slot perfectly into Arteta's system. He's exactly the type of player Arsenal needed in those high-pressure games, City, Liverpool, when you need someone calm on the ball, under fire. But here's the twist. If Xabi Alonso ends up coaching Real Madrid, things get even messier. Emotional pull, former mentor, same national roots. This isn't some career mode save, this is the real world. And Arsenal might get outplayed again. So here's my take. Just pay the clause, seal the deal, and move on. No more waiting, no more dragging this out. Because if Arsenal lets this one slip too, fans won't just be upset, they'll explode. Salah could actually leave this summer. And not for 100 million euros, not even 10 million euros, but on a free transfer. Sounds like a bad joke, right? But no, it's a real threat for Liverpool. His contract's running out in just a couple of months, and only now, finally, the club has started to take action. Reports from Egypt say the negotiations between Salah's agent and Liverpool are moving full speed ahead. Apparently, the club has offered him a deal unlike anything he's seen before. And you're thinking, wait, now you're doing this. What were you waiting for? Him to start packing. Losing Salah now would be a disaster. 32 goals, 22 assists in a season. At 32 years old. The guy's got Duracell-level energy, still plays like he's 25. And who's going to replace him? Who's going to carry the attack next season if he walks? Some sources even claim that Trent possibly heading to Real Madrid could actually help Salah stay, because he'd become the face of the team. The leader. Honestly, just give him the new contract already. Make him captain if that's what it takes. And don't forget, Van Dijk's contract is also ticking down. Imagine this. Salah, Van Dijk and Trent all walking away for free. What are you going to do with 250 million euros then? Rebuild the team's soul from scratch? For me, this is a now or never moment. Either you extend Salah today or regret it tomorrow. But what do you think? Will he stay at Anfield or chase a massive Saudi paycheck?